I'm on my way to a street dance class. I just thought I'd come online quick and talk about what I've been wearing today, what my scents of the day have been, because it's always a matter of a number of different fragrances. I started out by wearing Black Phantom. Since I've been looking into some coffee fragrances lately, I don't know, I feel a little bit drawn to Oriental gourmand style fragrances that are not maybe full on gourmand, but that still have maybe oud, maybe coffee, some sweet notes, some spices, that type of fragrance. And I just kind of brought out what I had, and I had a decant of Black Phantom, and I wore that all morning, and it bothered me. There was something in that fragrance that didn't quite do it for me. I think it's lacking something. It's giving off, it projects really well. Um, I wonder what it was about that fragrance. There's something that doesn't quite, like a disturbing note. Maybe it has a little bit of a plasticky vibe to my nose. I'm not quite sure if that's it. Or it could be that it's just like it's all the notes are kind of like down here. There's nothing bright. And I would like something kind of uplifting. It's not bad, for sure, but I would never get a bottle. And I felt almost like I got tired of wearing it and kind of wanted to scrub it off, which I finally did. And then I went to this lunch at 12 at this really kind of fancy restaurant. I was going to like a stock market analysis kind of lunch. And I just kind of wanted to wear something to make me feel sort of sophisticated. So I wore Love Don't Be Shy, but then I felt it was a little bit too teenagey, a little bit too sweet and marshmallowy. This is an orange blossom dominant fragrance, which I really, really like. It's like super, super dense. I've worn it a number of times and it only has that little tiny dent. This is a travel size that doesn't have spray, so you have to kind of do the splash thing. But it's unbelievably beautiful. But I decided to top it off with some of this lemon fragrance, Cedro de Diamante from Perris, Monte Carlo, which is just an incredibly juicy lemon fragrance, and it has some soft spices under there too, but it's really all about the lemon. This one doesn't last so long, but if you combine it with other fragrances, I think it works really well. Like if I put something on that's too heavy or something that's too sweet, or you need a little bit of a lift, this one is a perfect layering fragrance. I think they also make an orange one and maybe even a grapefruit. I'm not sure. They have an orange one. I know that for sure, and I can't remember the name right now. That's one layering combo that I do a lot. And then later on, and then I went downtown after this lunch meeting, and I went to there's a Lush flagship store downtown that I don't go by very often, but I kind of went out of my way to go to it because I've been into kind of like Lush fragrances have kind of grown on me. I've kind of been I've been prejudiced against their fragrances, like they're being too hippie or too new agey or more like spa-ish and not like real perfume. But I really think that they have something for everyone there. They have. I talked about Lord of Misrule, I think. Maybe was it a week ago? I tried that. I really, really like that. That's like an oud. Wait a minute, it's not an oud. No, it's a patchouli vanilla fragrance with black pepper. It might have a speck of oud, but I'm not sure if it's listed. That one really comes off this, it really projects well. That's a great fragrance. It has a little bit more of a minty quality than your average like patchouli vanilla fragrance. So it has that little, maybe it's the black pepper that gives this cold, it has like a cold top a little bit. I really like that one. They have these cute little blotters that look like a bottle. And I tried so many different ones. They have one called Grass. So if you're kind of in a mood for a special kind of fragrance, you can find things like Grass. There's a lavender one. I talked about Vanillary last week. That's a good one. But actually my favorite one, the one I went in for, was actually Cardamom Coffee. And it was, unfortunately, the most expensive one. They have two kind of categories. One is like the regular ones with a white label. I have American Cream from that series or that collection. They come in many sizes, but then they have like the black labels, a little more expensive. I think they call it the Library Collection, and you can only get them in the flagship stores, I think. I think they call them Lush Libraries. Go to one of those if you can, because it's really worth a visit. So this one has notes of cardamom, coffee, oud, olive tree, and rose oil. And it also has something more. I can't remember. There was something more in here. Maybe it's just like patch or something, but it's like, it's really, really a beautiful kind of dry, nice coffee fragrance. A little bit like stepping into a coffee shop, and I'm sure I like wouldn't go through 100 ml and that I would want to wear it every day, but it's like when I want to get it out and sniff it, it's just so beautiful. But I'm not going to pay that much money. This was the most expensive one in the store. It was 200. Let me see, 2,000 Swedish crowns. That's about $200, 200 euros, roughly. And you can, I think you can get these more expensive ones on the website too. So if you're into that, but I don't know. They have some other really nice ones as well that I'd like to really go back there again. And one called Two More Hearts that I like. Then they have one that they I think they launch it like they only have it at Christmas time, and it's called Turmeric Latte. And it does not have coffee in it, but it has tonka and vanilla, gardenia. It's really, really a cozy fragrance. And then there's a nice kind of spring and summer fragrance called Pansy that has like blackberry, orange flower, rosemary, and other florals. And I love the names. Breath of God. Doesn't that sound kind of inviting? It's an incense fragrance. This one was really interesting, I thought. I mean, incense, I don't like melon, but it had like cantaloupe melon listed. Rose, cedar, vetiver, and incense. Interesting fragrance. I want to get back to that one. And then I tried this Lord of Misrule again. Really, really nice. And what I typically do, another layering combination that I just kind of want to mention, sometimes I put a perfume on and I think it lacks depth, then I have this little Perfumum Roma Patchouli travel size rollerball in my bag, and it just kind of gives depth to any fragrance. Like I had Rosendo Matin number 7, which does have depth, but I kind of wanted to make it even more kind of powerful and just kind of add this patchouli note, because this is a real nice chocolatey patchouli by itself or with other fragrances. So you can add like vanillic fragrances, you can add fresh fragrances. This is just, it gives a beautiful, beautiful depth. Anyway, okay, where am I? I just want to give you a little update. I'm having a little bit of doubts about this thing with starting my own company. I think it's kind of like when I was a dancer. I still am a dancer, I love to dance salsa, but teaching beginners how to dance salsa maybe is not the most fun, you know. And I think that I enjoy making these videos because I know that the people watching are kind of like perfume nerds, just like myself. But meeting people and teaching people about fragrance that don't know anything about it, they might not even be that interested. They might be super, super sensitive. I mean, I'd say that like 1 out of 4 of my friends are really, really sensitive to fragrance. Like my own sister, my own mother, they think like all my fragrances are super, super strong, like, and overwhelming. And I don't want to choke people out. I don't know if they could even come to an event. So maybe I'm kind of fooling myself here. And then I got called to next week I have like 2 interviews in 2 different places. So I'm definitely going to go to those interviews. And then I need to really think what I want to do, because I'm not sure about this thing with perfume events. I think they might be difficult to sell. It might be hard for people to come out of town to my house, because I live a little bit outside of town, not too far. Because if I come to other people's houses, I don't know how that will work out with, like, you need to spray a lot of perfume. I mean, you can like, I've now today elaborated a little bit with different kinds of paper here. We can make blotters. I mean, I could spray like 2 of those and like pass them around so that everyone doesn't spray their own, because that's going to be too much perfume in the air and people will be all choked out. So, I mean, it does have some complications. I've had fun with my TikTok account, but I just have to tell you that it really feels strange that TikTok does something to your voice and TikTok does something to your looks. They seem to they put some kind of a filter so that your face glows more, your hair looks better, your eyes look perkier. It's really strange. And one of my friends said she didn't even recognize my voice because it's more like full and deep. I mean, it does kind of sound like there's a microphone effect. I mean, here I use like a little microphone like this, but it's definitely my voice and there's no filter, it's just me. But I don't know. It's a little bit strange. I think that maybe that's why people get kind of sucked into TikTok, because it kind of makes you more attractive, and maybe I don't know if people kind of like to see themselves. What I did notice is that my 3-minute videos, people are actually not watching them. They watch on average like between 9 and 20 seconds of them on average. I mean, I'm sure there's like maybe a viewer or two will watch the whole thing, but I think it's probably not my media. But I'm learning. I'll probably just learn from that, and I can spread them from there to Instagram. And then it gives a better quality video than on Instagram, and it's just really, really easy to use. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm kind of hoping that I'll maybe land a normal job and then just keep this incredible perfume passion to myself, and just so I can sniff whatever is fun to sniff, and I don't have to think about what the clients want. And it does kind of take the fun out of it to make your passion your livelihood. I've done it before with cooking, so I know what I'm talking about. I think it could happen again. So, but we'll have to see. I mean, I have to support myself somehow. Anyway, that was all for today, guys.